So we started with this tool that's working more or less okay. We're now turning it into a Flask application. Let's see how that goes. Do we have so far? Is this? We're still getting an error. Plot this couple of chats. Let's see which one is which. I think this is starting fresh. Yeah, I couldn't solve the error that we are getting. I don't know what's up. That's actually a literature review on the topic of ECG misdiagnosis. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's actually start another chat. Just pop this in because before we started with the code and then gave the bot the error message, but maybe if we do the other way around, give it the error message first to review your code that you are setting an integer or a string as the status code. Check where status variable coming from. So it must be coming from the, it's actually commented out. Do we get anything? Let's see if it can solve this error. So it's suggesting just to return to 100. That's obviously, wait a sec. And status 200. Can I do that in here? And no. Status code. It's not the solution. To review code. Setting an integer. Duration float. ECG data, generate ECG data. Turn data points and ECG. These two are of a wrong type. Let's quickly check. Quickly check the original code. So this is where we started off. That Flask application used to work fine before, mainly after ECG plot, right? Because it was actually generating an image, so we changed that. Still generating image. Still returning an image. It's just something else, but it's still an image. It's HTML. Check all the returns from now on. Right, this is returning a JSON file. It's turning the image into JSON, which is weird. Right. This is returning the process data, but this is JavaScript. Not even entirely sure which line is the problem with. So I gave it the error. I gave it another error. Maybe now I can give it the Python code, see what it says. it's revised part of the code, but it's not addressing the actual problem. Oops. Control-Shift-C. It focuses on ensuring there is not unintentionally passing a numpy array from the provided code. That doesn't seem to be a direct indication that numpy array is being set. Concrete steps. Provided code, the relevant section is JSON file. To list for debugging, add prints then interpret the type of data. Sure, we're already doing this, but okay, let's do it again. Response type response. Sure that the status code is an integer. And not being somehow replaced or influenced by a numpy array. Let's run this again. So I don't get it. Where? A Control-Shift-C. Where is printed? Because I can't really see it. When using the print style in the Flask application, the printed output is typically appear in the terminal console of the Flask. If you edit the following code, you should see the printed output in the terminal where your Flask app is running. You should start your Flask app using okay. So is it in this response or not? Where in the above terminal So traceback you provide again, the error occurs when they're trying to set the status code of the response, but it appears there's no direct reference to this Flask application code provided earlier. In the error log you provide a clarifier suggest adding the print statement for debugging purposes, but the error log provided does not contain that printout. It would be in the standard output, not in the error log. So we need to look there to find what standard output. It's the standard output. That's the console. It should be over here somewhere. Okay, I'm really confused. Right before every return, is there another return? Is this what? Returning 500 regardless of what I do. Eventually this thinks it's some sort of silly mistake that I've made, but I can't see it at the moment. Probably don't need that. Why can't you solve this error? Should be something fairly simple. Still getting this is the code. There might be a confusion with the root and how Flask is handling the response. The error originates from attempting to make Numpy array into HTTP status code, which is not appropriate. Status code should be an integer. They are occurring in the generate ECG data. When the post request is made to this route, is directly calling the generate ECG function, which is returning a tuple containing data and a Numpy array. Flask is attempting to convert this into a response and failing because it doesn't know how to convert a Numpy array into a HTTP response. Solution. At the point ECG, you'd fix the response. Construct ECG. Specifically, you should not return a Numpy array directly. You can convert it to a list as you did in the other route and return it as part of JSON. Response below is the revised part of your code. Okay, so we have generate ECG data, duration is an integer, heart rate is an integer, that makes sense. Now response, we have data points. So instead of returning data points and ECG, data points, pen point, I assume that instead of this, we do that a bit. Response data. Yes, we have ECG. Oops, ECG to list. Turn the JSON response data to 100. This original number array is converted to a list before being returned to Python's JSON response. Ensure that the Numpy arrays are converted to native Python types like list that can be easily listed. So does this mean that I do not need to do list conversion elsewhere? I'm doing it like too many times already. So if this ECG is already converted, just the print that's commented out. Yeah, we have it. Response. Right. Well, surprisingly, that worked. And the first rule of engineering, if it works, don't break it. Okay. So we are in. Can now make progress. Okay, so GPT-4 only took half an hour to solve this problem, and it did great. Now we can move on. But good thing about this, so yeah, because they added vision, you can upload images there. So what we can do, we need to obviously fix quite a lot of things. If I take, well, actually, I'll take that because I needed to fix the scaling for this thing on the page. Yeah, we can pop it into, yeah, just copy pasting into the chat. And we'll just send it. So hopefully it can fix some things for us. it's describing it correctly, the image correctly. I don't know if it's using the previous context to do it. But yes, the user interface generating similar to the ECG based on blah blah blah. Yeah, that looks correct. Yes, useful for educational purposes. I could actually turn this later into HTML, use it as a description on the page. Okay. Anything wrong with the image? I hope it actually picks on the fact that we have multiple labels that are the same. Yeah, I don't know, RQ, STP, TQ, yeah. So there should not be any repeats in there. Yes, peak legend, repetition. I don't remember giving it the JavaScript. It might need the whole code. Consistent units. I don't remember anything being wrong with units. But if you want to fix it, please do. Would definitely like to fix the legend. That's kind of important. Very important. Visualization scale. Yeah, that's kind of important as well. I mean, that's the actual chart scale. Responsive design. Yes, scales very well on various devices. We do want this to scale. Currently, I can zoom in and out, but ideally, when you reload the page, it just scales. For color choices, we have color palette for the project. Probably didn't know, but we do. We can pop it up on this side, make it available for you to play with. What? The true value of the array if more than one element is ambiguous. What? What? It's a really odd error. Duration works? No, duration doesn't work. It doesn't work. So it just... So that works. There's some noise in it, which is good. There's some sort of heart rate number that is too large. The error actually not quite relevant, but yeah, we'll have to limit error margin. Duration, okay, duration does work. This needs to update as well. I forgot what's called the Control-Shift-C font. What's the name? Generic span. It's called a span. There's another span. Still getting errors. Are we? No, the errors are gone. Something that stayed there from before. Okay, where's the we had then info. Okay, let's close it for a sec. So we had those prompts. This error went away. Requirements. So minimal signal duration. Okay. There's no connection. Obviously, because we closed the application. Let's do those one by one. So let's fix the legend first. Can you just do it, or you might need more of the code? Yeah, we have that repeated legend thing. Update. Update chat. There's a generalized solution. Why? No, we're not using matplotlib. No, it doesn't have the code. Actually, let's start a new chat. This is our literature review. We can close everything else. New chat, GPT-4. Let's start with index HTML. It's kind of obvious what it is. Reference. We have that line to generate any code. This is for reference only. Do not generate any code. So it will need HTML. It will also need the JSON's JavaScript. Again with the same line. Right, this one we can delete all the troubleshooting. Don't need it anymore. Also format document. So white adding 2 spaces, but okay. I assume it knows what it's doing. Pretty sure it wasn't doing this before, but never mind. And this is again reference only, do not generate any code. Initial plot, posted web page is digital generator, key elements, yes, plotly graphic, jQuery, custom CSS, next step, styling, JavaScript, server-side logic, testing, optimization, responsiveness. Yeah, we do want to do all these things. JavaScript. Observation, clear and structured. Yes, well, because you made it, so obviously it will be clear and well structured for you. Dynamic creation of traces, peaks, nice time, what makes the code adaptable, whatever. Event listeners, potential optimization, consider optimization like catching the Ajax response or adding loading speeder. Yep, we can maybe look at it later. Enhance error handling. To have error logging, implement logging, validation. Right, this is actually well, we can actually limit the input instead of doing validation. But running at the moment, no. Let's run it quickly. There's a few things. Scale the page to fit the whole screen. We'll come back to those in a bit. Actually, don't need that many methods. Using Flexbox, using JavaScript. Can we using Flexbox? We want to generate the whole styles CSS. Actually, can we also have a color scheme? Color scheme. Do we have a color scheme? Yes, we do. We have a color palette. Let's find that. Use the following color variables. Generate the whole CSS. Generate the whole CSS. Right. It's using those color variables. In CSS, you can have variables. It will hopefully just use them throughout. Just label that. We'll sort out our prompts in a bit. A copy code styles. Right. Whoa. This looks much better, doesn't it? The labels are accurate except the first and the last one there. Right, another thing is this I'm actually getting quite, so this will be duration of 10 seconds. And that is correct. Just take a minute break. We're also writing this blog on how digital filtering of ECG signals can cause misdiagnosis, using this plugin that actually searches Google Scholar. So it's actually giving you legit articles that actually work, not like bot or a regular ChatGPT that makes up articles. It gave us a summary, but yes, in the conclusion, this is important, that there is actually lack of explicit discussion on how this filtering technique could potentially lead to misdiagnosis. So I don't know why no one is discussing it. Maybe should show you should potentially look for some clinical journals. So look at clinical literature. Can't spell. For discussion on how ECG data processing and filtering potentially lead to misdiagnosis. Let's see if it actually can do that or not. Right, so it's using that Scholar. Yeah, just let it work, let it do its job. In the meantime, right, so we did that. The window is now scaling. Scale the page. It's also like a general thing. Oops. Not a great text editor, this one. Sampling rate. Let's check the sampling rate. Sampling rate. Right, I have to unselect that. Yes, sampling rate is selected. So that's okay. Make sure the chart loads with levels when loading page. Let's double check that. To Control F5 as well. That's working okay. The legend. Right. The legend is not the legend. Pretty sure it already did it, but let's do this again. Doesn't repeat the labels. You should modify the JavaScript. Trace has already been added. So in JavaScript, is it generating the whole JavaScript or just the changes? I don't know. Plotting const color. Yeah, we could use change those colors to scheme as well. Or is it, or in the charts, it might just remain what it is. Edit peaks. So what's up with this? Keep track of edit peaks. Okay. I get what it's trying to do. So once they, for each point Q, okay, const. Okay, it's quite different. I mean, as soon as it's doing everything else correctly, I don't mind. Doesn't look like this is 100 lines of code. Yeah, it's only 83. So what was removed from my document? It's still 110. What was removed from the document? I mean, we can try it out. Can delete this one. Make a copy. Okay, so the thing is still working. Okay, I don't think it's duration. What on earth? That's working okay, but surely removed other stuff. What wasn't clear about? Okay, fix the legend. And generate a whole JavaScript code with all required parts, including code that haven't changed. So we want to keep the original code. I don't know why you're changing it for me. The original code had 110 lines. So the legend issue was fixed by adding a name attribute only to the first trace of each peak type. Show legend plot ECG. This looks more like it. Yeah, we want to prevent when you using the scroller right, getting an error there. If it did anything, found additional papers that discuss ECG data processing and filtering techniques. A signal to noise ratio and mean square error improving algorithm based on Newton filters measure. Yeah, this is not a clinical paper. Swarm intelligence. Same real time. What did I ask for? Look for clinical literature for discussion on how ECG data processing and filtering techniques could potentially lead to misdiagnosis. And did you find anything on misdiagnosis? Yes. Do not directly address the potential misdiagnosis. Don't know. That's could be an interesting thing of itself. Is that the engineering papers do not talk about misdiagnosis. I mean, yeah, we'll be talking about all sorts of problems. Yeah, can reduce accuracy for selecting informative components of the signal. Algorithms are shown to improve the quality of ECG signal filtering. Implementation of adaptive based chip architecture. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of technical stuff. I don't know why it's do we have access to any clinical papers? Let it do its thing. So fix the legend. It's working all right. Yeah, this yellow marker is not great, is it? Red, purple, blue. What other colors do we have? And the signal is blue. How about black? Actually, I want this red and the other one black. Actually, one red to be blue and blue to be red. I know it sounds like I'm just messing around, but there's a reason for it. Because red would be essentially the beginning, because it's the QRSTP. So it should be, this should be in a different order. This should be a PQRSTP, the order. So fixing the legend worked. The legend order should be PQRST fix. Let's see. It should be a simple fix, but we still want GPT to do this for us because I don't want to be coding anything at all. I don't know Python or JavaScript. Manage the order within JavaScript. Close the updated JavaScript file, ensuring that the legend order will be the same. So this is generating the whole thing for me, is it? Yeah, I mean, if it's writing this fast, I would not be able to integrate this fast. The problem is, yeah, we have 109 lines, so in theory, this change should result in the same number of lines or more. Okay, there is more. More is better than less. I mean, you know what I mean. PQRST. Do we really need to mention ECG? The legend doesn't need ECG label. And again, same thing. The other reason for not making any manual changes is that when I do ask it to generate the whole code, it will not have this bit. So it will, if I edit manually, then we'll get removed if the bot doesn't know anything about it. Legend setting, show legend property. Would it just remove the whole thing? Yeah, so if I yeah, this kind of weird double clicky thing. If I do a single click, it just removes the ECG, and I think that's what it's gonna do, which is not what I wanted. Label from the legend by setting show legend property of the ECG trace to false. Yeah, it's now generating the whole lot. 116. Right, BQRST. Didn't we just change the color? Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. It will stuff things up, so we actually have to mention it here, which is probably good practice anyway, because we'll have a list of requirements, and it is kind of important. So we want be big in red, Q in purple is okay, R in black. The reason being is because it stands out already. S in blue, T in green. I'm surprised I'm not yet exceeding the 50 prompts per 3-hour limit. I used to hit that limit all the time. Changing the color attribute inside the marker property of each specific peak, and it's doing this for me, which is great. This is obviously the JavaScript that's generating the whole code again, and I would expect it to be the same length, so 116 lines of code, including spaces, including empty lines, roughly the same. Okay, why is where's that orange came from? Really? It's messing up quite a few things. EG trace in what color was it? It's actually a different blue, isn't it? Where's that orange coming from? Right, no, actually the colors are correct now. ECG trace, set default yeah, doesn't matter, we'll leave it for now. There's other things. Oh, what's up in the color business? Okay, we just need to fix it. The ECG trace. Oh. In dark blue all the time. Yeah, we'll do it one by one. Quickly. No, it's something went wrong. Something went wrong. No, now it's generating. Other thing, next thing, when we change the input parameters, well, first we need another input parameter, which is that 150 what's called, sorry, yeah, the segment range. We should be able to change it slightly. We need those. Should see the, what are they called? spans to display the actual value. Spans next to the input slider display actual current value. What else? Inputs chart updating only when input, only after input was selected. Line property edit color attribute dark blue. And this is the whole JavaScript code, is it? So we have 115 lines. Yep. Let's see. Can close this for now. Dark blue is not pretty at all. Right. Yeah, the chart is not properly scaling. It's not. Wait. No, it is scaling. No, it's okay. Because it will tell me to. Yeah, if you want to scale with when window resizing, it then will tell me to change the JavaScript. And that's okay. Just have to hit refresh. Otherwise, it just becomes too complicated. Now I need another input, which is that segment range. Yes, sampling rate just remains fixed. So this is actually not segment range. This is a bad description for it. Segment range. I don't know why it's all capital letters, but segment range variable in the Python code snippet. This variable used to determine the range of ECG signal segment that will be displayed around each R peak. Defines how many data points before and after the R peak will be included in the segment. You can change the value of segment Python code if it's not clear enough. Blah blah. Okay, so we did all that. This will go first. Add a segment range. As input slider on front page. After inputs values were selected, current value. Let's try all of them. No, wait. No, we can't. Let's do one at a time. So, and then another input front end. Keep using front page because I used to lab view. This is not lab view, is it? HTML update, JavaScript update. This looks legit. Let's do this as well. Chart updating only after inputs values are selected. If you want to update the ECG chart only after blah blah values clicked on the generate button. Instead of updating the chapter in real time as the slider move, you can simply remove or comment down the event listener. The event listener that is previously attached to the input called plot ECG immediately upon the change of comment out. The plot will now only update when the form is submitted. No. That's not what I meant. Charge updating only after it's a mouse release. Never mind. Can update the JavaScript change instead of input. Okay, yeah, that's right. And that should be correct. And another change is bands next to each input line display current value. Currently selected value. Let's see what it does. It should make sense. Next to each line, blah blah. Okay, it seems to be doing that. Okay, it's generating incomplete code. Okay, let's generate. Most of the change was to JavaScript. Let's generate the whole JavaScript, making sure there are no missing bits. And we can probably try updating Python, HTML. Let's update HTML. Let's pop it in here. Right, segment range 150. Python. We only have two functions. Generate ECG data, duration, heart rate, segment range. Getting this from a form. Don't need that comment. Right. And it's JavaScript. This should be the whole JavaScript. Making sure there's no placeholders. It should be the same length. Shouldn't be shorter than 116 lines. Right, it's like 133. Which probably means... Ooh. Okay, so duration works. It's minimum at 4 seconds, maximum at 20 seconds. Default is 10. Probably 5 will be better, but doesn't matter. Now, heart rate from 50 all the way to 100 is why 100 seemed to be too much. Why? But does make sense. Now, okay, this is just makes it off by miles. Bum, 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 bum. What does this error even means? Why does they have more than one element? Oops. The error goes because they're trying to evaluate truthness of the number array directly, if then with which is ambiguous. What? Your Python code. This only has a minimum value of 0, which makes sense. B candidates. The main question is, yeah, we have to get rid of it because essentially it works with 150. Just hitting F5 to refresh the page. Right, this will generate some variability. Yeah, it's just off. It actually was nice when we had the ECG signal, because you could click on it and it will just show you the just the labels only. But yeah, this is pretty good. I think it's pretty useful. Not sure about that error. I know the array is not empty. Why would it be empty? Generate ECG data. Wait a sec. Data points. There's some sort of edge problem as well, as in the sense that it would not mess up the last one. Yeah, this button essentially does the same thing as hitting F5. Well, not really, because no, sorry, it's not, because it will take the input parameters. F5 will come back to default values. So the point is that duration updating only after press dark blue. So we have done all those. Now there's a problem. So duration input works fine. A heart rate heart rate a heart rate input above 73 BPM will result in this weird error. Okay, let's just clear this, regenerate this whole lot. I don't know what's up. See if it can solve it. I think this is wrong. P, do I even have P candidates? Yes. Does it mean there are like too many of them? P index max. Here's the correct. Make sure you're checking the size as shown in the earlier provided code. If you've already done this, the error still persists. You might need to delve deeper and use the corrected part of your code. Do I need to do it everywhere? Right. It's this 75, 26, 27, 79. It's really bizarre. Clear. Oops. That's doing the same. But above 82. Red team, but above. Above 82. Right, it's doing the same for T candidates. Don't really get it. I mean, it can make sense because it's candidates is size a clear okay, so heart rate goes all the way to, sorry, I shouldn't laugh, 100 if 50 is minimum, 70 is default, and segment type just stuffs up the a calculation. It's pretty good, pretty impressed. Do we need to check so any candidates if candidates silly question. Do all if candidates should be if candidate size above 0. Right. If Q candidates if S candidates if B candidates we already did that. S index and positive peaks size is above 0. If T candidates, so all of candidates double check. Okay, we can integrate. We can remove those that the error should go away, can we generate the whole Python script? Okay, that looks too short. We have 106 lines of code. Oh, no, no, no. Is there any templates? That makes sense. Don't have the print statements anymore. Then give it a shot. Yeah, just make a copy of it just in case it's suspiciously shorter. Okay. A Q candidate doesn't have an object size. Why does a Q candidates it doesn't have size? Wait. Line 69. Should have been clear distinction between Numpy array and a regular Python list. Should use a length function. Just 1 sec. Let's give it the whole error. Let's see if it says the same. If len that's this all the way to S Q is there a mistake there? Right, because it's missing. Okay, I get it. Right, this one just stuffing up the measurement. So we did all that. Spans are updating fine. Chat updating only after inputs was selected, so on mass release. That's great. Yes, that's working fine. Yeah, we need some description. Describe each input. We want 1 or 2 sentences instead of dot points. And that's pretty good. Are we using pandas? I don't think we are using pandas. And this should actually be called prompts. And let's rename this into prompts. Info. Yeah, because that's the original description that we had. And delete that for a sec. Can you provide a general description for the whole application? So we will have it at the bottom of the page. Yeah, it's just, can we rewrite this in a less sensational language? Right, we need to be able to add noise to it. Or shall we just leave it in case somebody asks for it? The bit with yeah, you can use keyboard left and right to change the parameters as well. So that's changing BPM, duration. Anyhow, yeah, it could be nice. First, probably want them larger. Where are our prompts? What are they currently? Blue, show legend, marker color. We'll have the info in here. I hit generate. If I forget to turn the microphone off, keeps transcribing everything I say. Can you add the marker size as variable so I can use it everywhere else? Has to do the labels, pick labels, larger, wasn't the text size. just manually change that. Oops. Should have been inside. Why am I manually changing this instead of automating this stuff? I don't know. Right. Is this better? Yes, a bit better. It will sometimes do stuff up like that. But it's okay, it just shows how it's more realistic. We had the description. Can you turn this into HTML text? I'll pop it at the bottom of the of the tool. I guess it's not absolutely clear that the algorithm is actually labeling the ECG, that it's not somehow labeled to begin with. I mean, the good way to show that it's actually labeling would be adding noise onto that, and then you would see that labels will get will be wrong all of a sudden as you increase the noise. So that would actually be a much better tool. So it will be something similar to this. Yeah, when we actually can change the noise level, and when you do, the labels will get all messed up, so it would not be able to label anymore once the noise is too large. So that's the general idea. Currently we don't have a noise option, but we can add it. This will go into our HTML. Oops, no, not like that. We want it at the bottom. Content selection. Add the div class const selection to the bottom of index HTML, because we didn't do it properly. It's ended up on the right. Okay. So we have the header. Class container. It's the class container. This is what I did. Oops. Content selection. This is the end of container, and that's the start of content selection. We want to style accordingly the CSS. Oops. Oh, come on. No. Ends up on the right of we want it at the bottom. Do I need to change the CSS? No. A flex box, yeah, of course. Okay, we'll style it later and release it hopefully sometime this week. I'll see you later.